There's verse 15, 16, 17, and 18. Y'all got it? Y'all got it? Matthew chapter 16, verse 15, 16, 17, and 18.
He said unto them, but whom say ye that I am?
Amen.
And Simon Peter answered and said, Thou art the Christ,
Yes.
the Son of the living God. And Jesus answered and said unto him, Blessed art thou, Simon Bar-Jonah, for flesh and blood have not revealed it unto thee, but my Father which is in heaven. And I say unto thee that thou art Peter, upon this rock I will build my church, and the gates of hell shall not prevail against it.
Amen.
Amen. Thank you. Thank you so much, Sheila. Thank you so much. We start the series. On this first Sunday in February. What is the motto of the New Morning Star campus?
Building together with the bricks of love.
One more time.
Building together with the bricks of love.
Building together with the bricks of love. Last month we dealt with I'm committed to the Great Commission. And since I have made that commitment, now I'm building together with the bricks of love.
Amen.
Yes.
This and has been the motto of our church for over 7 years.
Amen.
We find our church doing sometimes right, and sometimes we fall a little short of building together with the bricks of love. I think the first thing we must understand that building together with the bricks of love is an action. It's not something we just say. It's not something that we just feel. It's something that we ought to be doing. And in something that we ought to be doing, it ought not just be a Sunday morning thing. This ought to be our everyday living. This ought to be a part of our lives, building together with the bricks of love. We must remember we have grown a lot, and a lot have been done here at the New Morning Star campus, but there is much more we need to do inside and outside of the church. And I'm not talking about putting a brick here, or putting a picture up on the wall of me. I'm talking about there's a lot of stuff that we need to do spiritually on the inside and on the outside, because we can't expect the outside to come on the inside when the inside ain't right. Preach purpose, I'm doing the best I can. We can't expect them to get right when we not even striving to be right. I think the first point that we need to realize that in this building together, as it being an action word, it's a continuous thing. Building, it's a continuous thing. That it doesn't make a difference how well the building looks. When you look at buildings and how well they look, there's always somebody in the background talking about building something else to it, adding this to it, because this always should be a process of ours that we realize that we will never make it. We will never make it to the point where we stop building. We always should be looking to get closer to what God has given us to do.
All right.
The vision, the motto of the New Morning Star campus, building together with the bricks of love. Before I even attempt to go any farther, as you see on the sides of me where it says building together with the bricks of love, the banners that have been hanging there since we've been here, building together with the bricks of love. You look on the screen, it says building together with the bricks of love. Now you see it, and you don't see anywhere in there where it says I.
All right.
Preach a wild purpose. There's nowhere in there where it says I. Well, that means that building together with the bricks of love is not all about you. It's not all about me. It's something that we do together. It's something that we strive, something that we will achieve together. But the first thing we have to do, we got to get the I.
All right.
We got to get the I up out of it. We got to get the I up out of it. We got to get where we feel and where we believe that if you hurt, I hurt. If you achieve, I achieve. When you do something good, I celebrate you like it was just me, because we all work together. But first we got to get the I. We got to get the I out. We got to get the I out. Because when you see the text, when you read the text, as Jesus got all his disciples together, he didn't call them one by one. He got them all together and told them all, asked them all the same question. He asked them, who do men say that I am? He got them all together, asked the same question. Well, it couldn't have been somebody misunderstood what he said. It couldn't have been somebody that said, you didn't tell me, because he told them all that all together.
Amen.
But there's no big acts. There's no little U's. We're all in this thing together.
All right.
Loved it this morning, and Mom Pat, I'm learning, Mom Pat, that even when things don't go the way I want it to go, or look the way I want it to look, I got to look at what God is saying through that thing. I was on my way. I was actually at the light at 28th and Broadway, and Mom Pat called me, and I told her, I said, I'm at the light, I'm coming. And she said, get prepared. Because when you get here, you're going to see something. Well, me and Michelle, we driving, and we're kind of trying to come up in our minds. What is it?
All right.
What is it? Because our minds is set. My minds is set. You need to come give God praise, give God the glory. But there's an issue. Then we get here. Then somebody decided that somebody was giving away a whole bunch of clothes. Well, they decided what clothes that they didn't want, they just spreaded it right in front of the pantry, right in front of the New Morning Star campus, just clothes everywhere. Then me and Michelle, we pull up and watch this. The first thing me and Michelle said, because this year, 2025, still I'm gonna be just straight honest, 2025, we pulled up, and the first thing we said, man, we gotta get out of this car, and me and you, we're gonna have to pick up all this clothes out there, because all the rest of them, this is what we said, love y'all big. So all the rest of them gonna go in church and sit down and be holy, but the work on the outside is just gonna be me and you shit. It's gonna be me and you shit. Pulled up, got there, and we all got out of the cars, and when we got out of the car, first thing we did, we fellowshiped. Good morning. We showed love. We showed love. And that fellowship, what it did in that just quick moment, it brought us together. It brought us together. Then when it brought us together, and then when we was all on the same spirit, what you think you wrote? I'm unlocking the door to the church, the same spirit is talking about how we gonna get these clothes up. What we gonna do it. And Michelle tells Sharon, she said, we got some gloves in the church and we're gonna get some gloves and we're gonna put them on and get them in that bag. Benny said, how can I help? Mama Pat, she was right there and we ready to get this stuff done. And I went to get, I call it my little picker-upper, I want to get my picker-upper so I can just pick up some stuff. And then Sharon takes my picker-upper and I go tell Michelle, I went to tell on Sharon, that's what I did. I went to Michelle, I said, Sharon took my picker-upper and Michelle, she said, well, I'm on my way out there because we're going to pick up these clothes. And when we get out there, watch how God will do this thing. We get out there expecting to work together, picking up these clothes. My little short uncle, Uncle Freddie, he was out there because he dropped grandmama out, and he had all the clothes picked up by the time I got out there. And he said, I didn't want you to come out of church and see all this. And I said, well, Uncle Freddie, we thank you for me, but we all decided that we was coming out together. I wish y'all see this thing. And we was coming out together, and watch it. We was coming out together to clean up a mess that we didn't make.
All right.
Oh, y'all didn't get it. Y'all didn't get it. Y'all didn't get it. Because we have to realize in this hood that the church is in, and not only this hood, but every hood across the country, there's some mess. And God has ordained us and he has commissioned us to work together to clean up a mess that we didn't even make.
All right. All right.
Amen. But watch this. Number one, he got us to do it together. Amen. Yeah, but watch the text. Because in the text, Jesus is explaining to them that it all belongs to him.
Right.
Oh, it all belongs to him. Even though that you give your tithes and offering, even though you almost saying as good as the pastor, even though you at church every single Sunday, it all belongs to him. Amen. Even though, sometimes y'all have to realize that when I preach to you, God's already preached to me, and he already uppercut, hit me in the side, because he said, doesn't matter, your name is on the marquee, it belongs to no matter wherever you go in, and they mention the New Morning Star Church, and the first thing they say, oh, Purpose Passover, it's not mine, it belongs to.
Together.
Because we have to do it together, because I can't do it without you, and you can't do it without me, because the Bible said if 2 or 3 comes together,
Amen.
then he's going to be in the midst. Where we looking to change our community, and we looking to change even the inside of things that's going on with us, we got to work together and allow him to come in the midst.
Amen.
Because it all belongs to him. Then we got to remember, since we know it all belongs to him, we got to know who he is.
All right.
You might not believe it, but there's a lot of folk that come to church Sunday after Sunday, comes to the building, walks in, sings in the choir, do whatever they do in the church, but never got a relationship with God.
Amen.
Never knew who this Jesus is.
Amen.
In the text, he asked the question, who do men say that I am? Everybody, all of his disciples, had an answer. Amen. He wanted the prophets. Everybody had an answer. Then Jesus, in the text, watch the text, he makes it personal. He said, who do you say that I am.
All right.
And it got quiet. Because a lot of people, I'm not saying it's in the New Morning Star campus, but it could be. It's a lot of people that got titles. A lot of people that got positions, but don't know Jesus.
Amen.
How can we succeed? How can we reach our goal when we got people in the church that don't know Jesus and we're not working together to get them to get closer and to get to know Jesus?
All right.
Can I throw something in your spirit? We got to be careful that we don't get so caught up on how many chairs we fill.
All right.
Because we can have the place full and know Jesus.
All right.
Amen.
Baby, I think I gotta go another angle. I think I got my notes, but I think I gotta, because a lot of times we got projects that we doing, a lot of things we got while we doing this, but if there's no Jesus in it,
All right.
we doing it in vain. A lot of times we put his name on it, but his presence is not there.
Amen.
Okay, y'all didn't get, let me come back. A lot of times we put his name on something. We doing this in the name, but when he looks at it, it has nothing to do with what his presence. He'll be there to bless it. He's not there.
Amen.
But we got to be sure. We got to be sure as we're building together with the bricks of love that we have to be sure that everybody that's a part of the New Morning Star campus know Jesus.
All right.
Some of us may know more about him than other people know, but we ought to be working together to get them to know more about him.
All right.
I got to pause. I got to pause. Watch this. A lot of people know about him, but don't know him.
All right.
And just because somebody ain't been in it as long as you've been in it, long as they know him, they got time to learn about him, but we have to make sure that they know him. And then if they know him, they will have the desire to know more about him. Then that means we have to be able to teach them about him, but we can't teach about him if we're concerned about how.
Amen.
But we got to make sure that we know him.
Amen.
And then if we're working together, then we ought to want everybody to know him.
All right. Amen.
I didn't understand it. I didn't understand it, Stacy. I didn't understand it, Brother Gaines, when I was a basketball star, STARRR. Yeah. When I was a basketball game, I didn't understand it that when we played ball and we won, and they would have the banquet, and folk that didn't play, James, they got the same trophy that me and Jaron Lindsay, me and Clavon, me and Randy, they got the same trophy shilling that we got. We did, it felt like we did all the work.
All right.
I did all the crossovers. I did all the behind the back passes. I did all the pretty things because I thought I was Magic Johnson. I did all the pretty things, but the folks that didn't play it all, they got a trophy. Huh. When I was, I'm trying to get it where you can bite into it. When I was at TT Knight Middle School playing Well, my brother Chuck, God rest his soul, he was a manager of the ball team. And when we had our banquet, they gave this brother a trophy too. And I said, he don't even play. How does he get a trophy? Well, then I told him he got a trophy because he was a part of the team.
Together.
And because he's a part of the team, we have to work
Together.
then in us working together and knowing Christ. And then once we know Christ and we're working together, you have to play your position. Now, I don't want to hang there too long, but I know that's y'all will get your teeth in it when I talk about how much I was a star on the ball court. But they had me listed. They had me listed, James, you was there. They had me listed as point guard, but I didn't want to be the point guard. I wanted Clavon to take the ball down the court because if he got it stolen, then Coach Finley will holler at him and not holler at me. I didn't want the responsibility of being the point guard. But see, if you play your position, if God gave you that position, you take the responsibility and let him do what he does.
All right.
Because if he gave you the position, he's going to give you the equipment and the ability to do what he has for you to do.
Amen.
Now. Yeah, I said I was going to be honest. Let's be honest. It's a lot of folk at the New Morning Star campus that you got a title, you got a position, you over something, but you're not working in your position. And because you're not working in your position, it's our job as the rest of the campus to encourage you and to help you get in and work in your position.
All right.
But then, as I said, this is the beginning. The beginning of 2025. But when we start, can I make it plain, D? When we start calling you on the carpet because you're not working in your position, don't get mad. We ain't trying to be mean. We're trying to make sure that we're building together with the bricks of love. If your job was just as simple as to put the bricks in the wheelbarrow and bring it to where the work site is, if you never show up with the bricks, we can't do no work.
Right.
Well, whatever position that God gives you, you need to work in your position. And I'm gonna say this quickly, and I'm gonna move because I'm gonna slice it right here because I got about like 10 more points there, but I ain't gonna give you all those 10 points. Deal with Dean Rose said, yeah, come on up out of there. Yeah, we're gonna deal with the rest of them next week because this is the series for all month. But we got to follow his instruction.
Amen.
Got to follow his instruction. Because the text says, flesh and blood
Yes.
didn't reveal this to you. It was my Father. If the Father revealed it to him, and when Jesus asked the question, because what his Father revealed to him, he spoke out.
All right.
He didn't speak out on his own. He spoke out on what God gave him. Then we go back. What God gave you, take the eye out of it. Because it wasn't flesh and blood that revealed it to you. It was the Father.
That's right.
Well, because we have to realize that it all belongs to him.
Yes.
He said, upon this rock. I'll build my church. The only one can talk I and my is him because he's the creator and it's his church. We can't talk because if it wasn't out for his son dying for, we wouldn't have the opportunity to get right with him.
Amen.
Well, as we go, we got to remember, we got to do it together. We got to do it together. And what I've been sharing in Bible study, when we do it, it's all under the umbrella of love.
Amen.
It's all done in love. When we do it together, if the brick is too heavy for you, don't be ashamed to ask for a little help.
Amen.
Because we in this thing
Okay.
together.
Okay.
My last, I'm done. So my last thing I want to share with y'all. I was talking to some pastors the other day, and we had a meeting with the police, and they talked about how churches are not 100% safe anymore. People come in, even in Louisville, people have came in and tried to rob the church. In other cities, people have came in and shot people in the church. And some pastors was talking, and they kind of was talking, and one of the pastors talked about their security plan, how they got things laid out in case something happens in the church. Then they kind of went around the room, and they got to me, and they said, well, purpose, what's the security plan at the New Morning Star campus? Because everybody call it campus, but y'all ain't here, y'all call it, yeah, anyway, really, you have to wear lace. Yeah, but I sat there for a minute, and I began to laugh. And one of the pastors that's close to me, he kind of chuckled because he already knew where I was going. I said, let me tell you, at the New Morning Star campus, our security plan is Pastor Duck. Because what I got, and it ain't just one member, what I got in my purse, what I got in my pocket, I'm going to handle it. But what I need you to do, Pastor, I need you to duck, because I don't want you to get hurt, because I'm going to handle it. Amen. Then the question came, well, Pastor, you gonna allow that in your church? My answer, James, was, I pastor the New Morning Star Church. You pastor the church you pastor, and God has given you your security plan at the New Morning Star Church. God has given us our security plan. And I said, I'm kind of looking at yours, and I'm kind of looking at mine. And I said, never want to bet on anything, never want things to happen, but I think mine's will work quicker than yours. Because all I'm going to do is duck. Amen. And because I trust God, even when it comes to spiritual matters, what I do, I just duck. Because God said he'll handle it. And he said, lo, I'll be with you. Even until the end of the world, or whatever problem you're going through. If you got God on your side, just duck. Just duck and watch the salvation of the Lord.
Amen.
And while we're doing it, let us build together with the bricks of love.
Amen.
That's it. I'm done. I come